Okay, so the second stream today. This is going to be a different tune, and this tune is going to be far more percussive. This is going to be all about drum programming. So I'll just check that everything is working on my stream. That looks good. I shall crack on. So here's what I've written so far. I'm not sure about this noise, but we get better. I need to work on that noise. And this is all about using a little feature in Studio One, which I really like. So I want to bring back in this closed hat here. And that's going to go, I think, pretty much throughout this section. But in addition to that, I want to clone off these closed hats. Oh, just copy, and then I'm going to make sure it's pretty clear in the MIDI that these are a separate thing. And I want these going to a different output. Copy, and I'm going to paste. In fact, no, I don't need that. Yep, I'll delete that cell. So that's on C2, and I need to set up the output of my synthesizer. Expand. That pops up there. And that should now be working. And I'm going to rename that channel just so it's clear to me. 808 closed hat. Let's set that up for 16ths. Maybe 30 seconds actually, in case I want to do some release stuff. Cool. And pretty quickly we're going to sort of generate a little pattern in here. Nothing too complicated. Probably something like that. And I'm just going to bounce that out essentially. So I don't think I'm going to get that. I just want to get that bar. Track. Song, mix down. Oh no, I'll get a stem actually, that'll be much better. Track. Export stem. Trying to think how to do it. I know what I'll do. Now it's easy. I'll just get that mixed down. Export mix down. Import to track. Between the perfect. And now I can delete that. Right. Not perfect. Not perfect at all. God damn it. Solo. Export mix down. Import to track. That's more like it. I'll remove that. There we go. Okay. Pretty good. And now I'm going to start affecting this. So the first thing I want to do on this channel, which is called Mixdown 2, I'm going to rename it and call it 808CH. I'm going to find it in here, and I need to put a, I think it's pretty clear I needed to put a EQ on that because it had a lot of bass ends, which we can see right there. So I'll cut that out. It's still pretty loud. But I don't want this part in all the time. I kind of want it to be very much like a background hat. I'm going to have it on those 3 bars. I'm going to merge those. There we go, merge events. Somewhere in here there should be bounce selection. That's perfect. So that's now a part. And here's the cool bit. If I click down here on the left hand side, I can actually, for individual parts, so I'm going to copy that one off. For individual parts on one audio channel, I can click enable, and then I can put in any of my VST effects on each individual part, which is a sort of essentially making it very much like offline process history in Cubase, if you know that, which allows me to do some pretty cool stuff, such as having completely unique effects all on one channel, and I can freeze them, I can bounce them out, do whatever I want with them, even overlap them. So if I make something with a huge reverb tail, I can overlap that in the channel without having to crossfade it with other audio, which means it's incredibly powerful. I'll set that to 0. Because the one thing I'm not sure I can do, and I'm going to find out now, is whether I can automate. And I probably can, but you just never know. So I'm trying to think where I'd automate it. No, I don't think you can automate them in this way. So you kind of have to either put things in on the channel if you want them to do that, or you have to automate them as you go along. So I'm just going to set up some distortion on this one. I'm going to enable the effects, and I'm going to put on a Guitar 5. And I'm going to shove that through a guitar amp. Let's call it a hot solo. And that's going to be pretty loud, so I'm going to turn it down. Sorry about that. Quite a lot of noise there. Let's try a different plugin. So I'll come down here to special effects. Let's try transposing it. So on, I want 100% wet, and I'm going to try to do some stretchy stuff with it. Okay, so on the channel, I'll set up an auto filter on the main channel, because this is not going to be like hugely out of control or anything like that. It's going to be a sort of background part, and I should now be able to automate that. I don't want that much resonance obviously, but we'll get there to that. There we go. Filter and then cut off. I'll turn that resonance down. It kind of strikes me that there's still an awful lot of low end on that, which I really don't want from the hi-hat. I'm just looking for kind of a very, very light sound, so I'm going to really cut out some of my high ends. And that's going to be good. And then I also want to control pan on this channel. So there we go. And I'm going to have this sort of going across. Something like that. Going back to the middle there. And I'll set up a delay on that channel. Probably about right. I don't want it to be too stereo or it'll start confusing. You see that you hear there's a lot of phasing on that delay. That's problematic for me. So I'm going to try a different delay. I'm going to jump into Guitar Rig 5 and just put this on the channel straight away. And I'm going to try this delay here. Let's see if this handles it any better. There we go. That certainly phases less, I think. Seems to hold itself together a bit better. So let's check the other one. And I want to check the auto filter settings. And this time I want to come down. And I wonder why that one's so quiet. It's probably, I know why it is, because I've still got an effect on the actual events. So I'll turn off automation. There it is, that's why it's so quiet. So I'll remove that. And I'm going to try putting on that a bit crusher. Probably something like that. So now it sounds almost like a completely different part. It almost sounds like a regular drum. I wonder if we can make that a bit nastier still. Let's try putting on a ring modulator. Special effects. There's my ring mod. I don't want too much ring mods. I would like some FM. Let's see how that sounds. And next I'm going to transpose this one down. So I'm just really now mangling this sound up. I don't know whether that'll sound good, we'll see. And I'm losing too much with the cutoff now, because I've changed the sound so much it has a completely different structure. So show hide automation, and I don't want to close the filter anywhere near that much. and I like to sort of get control of the dynamics on that. They're pretty flaky, I think. So I'm going to put that right up in there, and I'm going to pump that right up. I want punch and I want dirt. That's all fine. And supercharger kind of just sorts things out. And the question is how it sounds here. That's got a much better level. I'll remove that. I don't want that anymore. That part is not necessary. Okay, so I'm going to bounce this one, and then that'll lose these effects. So I'll click render, and it will just bounce it down. Nice and simple. Taking a second or two to have a little think. And that is that. Apart from the fact the program's crashed. Excellent. Ever get the feeling you're just not going to have a good day? So I'm going to close this and reload it. See if that sorts it out. It was working fine a second ago. No, I'm going to need to restart that. I imagine it's going to give me a pure virtual function call crash here. It does happen. Nothing you can do about it. Fine. I'm going to do a little fill as well. So I've got my kick here, and I want the 4 because that's not distorted. And these kick versions are distorted. And I'm going to do some more distorted kicks, just to sort of get my eye on with them. And I'm going to put some light distorted kicks. I'm going to affect them quite heavily, I think, and maybe not get rid of the main kick, but I'm going to stick in some distorted kicks here. So I'm just going to take one kick again. That's all I need. And I'm going to put it on the channel rather than on the actual individual kick. I'm going to stick on a guitar rig, and I'm going to get some distortion out of an amplifier. I'm going to go for this one, which is different to the one I did the other distorted kick fill with. Let's have a listen to how that sounds. Very, very punchy, that one. I'm just going to work with the actual kick drum here. Okay. That's pretty nasty. I'm going to filter most of that out. Okay, you're just going to render that. That's all I need. Transform to rendered auto. that has decided not to snap to grids, which is a little distressing. Oh, I know why. There we go. And I'm going to do some kind of sketchy little fills here. That's perfect. When I say perfect, it probably isn't perfect, but it's going to be good enough. Where's my auto filter on? It's right there. I'll set the auto filter. I wish that came as 0. The amount of time I've spent resetting that LFO to cut off. And I don't want it to be a low pass, I want it to be a high pass. Okay. I jump around here, get the automation open again, add the cutoff, bottom modulation. There we go. And let's see how that sounds. I'm going to put that through my long reverb. I'm not sure about my long reverb. Let's try the short. That's a little better. And we'll get some delay on that. Let's go for a space echo. Echo volume right the way up. On the point of feedback. And slow it down. That should be good. Okay. Take a little section. I'll have a little listen to this again. And I think a crash would be really effective at that point. So I'm going to find a crash. And I'll jump into the complete library will be the place that I think I want to be. Drums, cymbal. I think that will work. I'm not looking for like a massive crash here. I'm looking for almost like a ride crash. And I'll jump straight in. I'm going to cut out. Well, there's kind of way back, there's a resonant frequency which I want to have a look at. I think that's just sort of the background noise of the cymbal. So I'm just going to suck that up. Jump around, put it on a pro EQ, cut out the bottom end. Then I'm going to slap that through a reverb. And this is the sort of the long reverb's last shot. That's okay. And just for a little bit of movement, I'm going to have something which sort of goes up and signifies that we're changing. Which is going to be like a little synth noise. I don't need anything particularly complicated there. I'd rather have it sort of I don't know, I'd rather have a synth noise than more percussion noise or stuff made out of percussion which I've time stretched to infinity, whatever. I only need one oscillator. I'm going to use an LFO to control the tuning. We'll make it LFO 1. I don't need the mod wheel doing anything. A little bit of tuning. Let's make sure I get the right point. Also, it needs to stop at the right place. I don't want it going through the gap with the distorted kick. So the last beat has to be in a separate position. There we go. And also I want that to go up in pitch over time. But that's easy to achieve because I'm going to use the same envelope to control the filter over time as well. So envelope 2. And in fact that means that I'm going to have to add I control the pitch using a mod wheel, and there's a reason for that, which is that otherwise I'm going to have to add envelope 2 into LFO 1 using this section here, which will get very, very difficult, and there's not enough control really to do what I want it to do. So we'll sort out the pitch in a second, but I will be doing LFO 1 add mod wheel, and then that is going to be coming out of add. So that should still maintain the pitch modulation. God damn. Now I use the mod wheel. And the trick is going to be getting the right amount. Yep, that's about right. I'm going to change the filter mode. I'm going to hit this one, and let's have a listen to that. And finally, we'll set up the filter envelope, the amplitude envelope. Just the short reverb, I think, for this. Nothing too much. And EQ, obviously, because I can hear it struggling against the bass line. Smash that on. It's too high. That's good. That's all good. So transform to audio track. Just smash and grab FX wise. Let's unmute that so we can hear how that sounds. That's quite loud. I don't think it's going to be that loud. It's got no... Oh, that's cool. We can put it through the long reverb still. I thought it had long reverb on it. Let's check that out now. I'm just not happy with the long reverb sound. It's not doing it for me, so I'm going to put in a different reverb. I'm going to use convolution reverb. I often use a digital reverb for my main long reverberation, but it doesn't seem to be doing it for me. So I'm just going to jump straight in. I'm going to smash up with that. Let's go for a cathedral. St Edward's Cathedral, why not? I'll turn off that vintage verb. Oh, did I? No, I didn't. There we go. I'll sort out those controls as well. And let's see how that sounds. That's pretty quiet. I think that's working a little better. So now I want to get more percussion in here. Okay. I may come back to the reverb at some point. So I'm going to grab another copy of Battery. I'm going to grab some Crazy Tom noise and I'm going to mess around with it essentially. So toms. Let's see what's in here. I'm looking for strange toms, not normal toms. That's too distorted. Maybe acoustic? Nah. Okay, we'll go with percussion. Percussion it is. That'll do. I'll grab that, and I'm going to grab that. And I'm going to mess about with these. So, 49. We should learn the keyboard shortcuts. Things might be a lot faster if I did, hey. Back to 16ths. That's kind of all I really want that to do, but I want it to work as a loop. So I'm going to extend that out and work on the sounds. And I'm going to make these pretty messed up. Okay. Turn these over to stretch. And store them. What am I missing here? Oops. I think I completely destroyed one of them. So that's probably in the distortion. I think I had distortion on that one as well. So I'll turn off that. We just keep on going until I get an interesting sound out of them effectively. Okay, that's close enough. Dearly, and I'm going to bounce that. Transform to audio track. I'm going to normalize them. Yeah, that's roughneck. And I think I want to put it through that supercharger again, just to level it out. This is like my go-to dirty limiter, not really a limiter at all, just a go-to. It's just fantastic for hammering sounds through. Things tend to sound a lot better when they've been through it. So now I'm going to get into manipulating this sample. Enable, I want to highlight all those. That's not what I meant. There we go. So I'm going to merge. I'll just bounce the selection, that's a lot easier. Okay, so I'll enable effects on that. I'll jump into guitar rig. Go for components. Let's do some crazy distortion. So I'm going to do some parallel distortion. I'll put on a split. Get amplifier. And we'll go for the van 51 amp. Okay, cool. And what I'd like to do is use a modulator to control the drive going into the amp, but not in an obvious way. I'm going to sort of invert it so the tails of the tails of the sound get more distorted, and that will be in here, which is input level. So I'll drop that before. I'm going to chuck that down onto gain, and I want it to offset down like that. But going the other way. You hear what that's doing? That's kind of super nasty right there. And we can get that more sort of finessed. Okay. So I need to try and match the gain of this. To the actual signal. That's about the same. And I'm going to render that. If I don't like it, it's not a massive deal. And that's the original. So I've kind of got a very, very dirty version of the original. And I've still got the original. I can use that at any point or do different distortions. And let's put that in. Sort of a compare and contrast section for the listener. I'm going to take that one and I'm going to apply a different effect. So I'm going to enable event effects, jump in here. What do I fancy putting on? I think I'll put on some crazy sort of stereo effect. Got to be careful with these, but it's not a big problem. Modulation, stereo tune, why not? Let's split them and let's see how that sounds. Do it more, couldn't it? Maybe not that. I'm looking for something that's sort of more immediately obvious. Delete selected. Let's just go for a straight ensemble unit. Turn down the intensity of it. Let's try a little bit more intensity. What about ring modulator? They're always good for a giggle. That could be gone. Let's have a little look. Looking for a bit more than that. Fleur. I like that, but I only want that much of it. I'm going to render that out. No, that's not right. Undo that rendering. That's going to need a little tail. So about 10 seconds will be fine. And the amazing thing is I can overlap the delay from the tail. There we go, I'll click on that. And make sure that play overlaps is selected. And there we go. That will hear both. I'm going to extend that out because I actually want part of that audio now. Which is there. I think it goes there. Yeah. And that I'm going to put I think a big old delay on. I think 1/8 delay. Sling up the feedback. But not on, I only want it on the second here. So I'm going to split that. There, that's perfect. And I'll put it on the delay. There we go. Feedback right up. Needs a little bit of modulation. Maybe change it so it's a different pattern. And I think I want some low cut on that. Can't hear it very well. It sounded better when it wasn't split, so I'm going to get rid of that and extend that out, and now I'll put the delay back on because it sounded better before. I'll make it 1/8 delay. I'll chuck up the feedback. That sounds better. Just going to use the restroom just a second. Okay, back again. And I'm going to bounce that out and give it a 10-second tail. That should be, well, actually 5 should be plenty. Render. Good, good. Let's have a look at what I got in the pool. That Diva export should be in here somewhere. Oh, maybe not. That's fine. I'm going to take one of these as well. Are these both the same? I can't remember. Yeah, they're both the same. I'll just drop that kind of there, I think, probably. Only I'm going to pitch that down. And through the power of trickery, I'm going to cut that and put it in the right place. Make sure that overlapping audio is available. That should be fine. But I'm going to put a little fade out on that just in case. There we go. That should now work perfectly. Nice. And that seems to me to be working pretty well at this point. I think a little cheeky fill at that point. Ooh. So I think that's doing. I'm pretty pleased with that. That's doing a good job. I'm not sure about this, but from this section here, that's doing a really good job, I think, of maintaining interest. And on that one, I'm going to enable events again. And I'm going to put on a huge reverb. I'll have a vintage verb. I'll split that. through it from there, but I think I do want it on that one. Good. Let's get a crazier sort of verb on there. Drum plate would probably be good. I'm looking for a bigger sound than that. That kind of thing. So I'll render that out. That's going to need sort of a 10-second tail. And render it. But I want it done. Oh, no. I want it done by the time the new section starts. So I'm going to fade out fairly quickly. And I'm going to use the distorted kicks to hide that. There we go. And that's the original there. So I'm going to put that back in before I completely lose track of what it was. Error. Do I still have any originals left? I think that's original. Okay. Just try duplicating that out. See how well it holds up. Very quiet. I'll boost the volume on that. Let's normalise it and then I can calm it down again. Yeah. And where's that funny little diva feel? Let's have another one of those. I'm not in the same place, and I'm going to put some effects on it, which is the theme of this episode, really. Guitar rig, special effects. Distortion, digital lo-fi, very wet. Don't want a bit crush here, but I do want to sample rate and angle it, something like that. I'm going to filter it out too. Let's try before. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I'll try before the bit crusher. That's a very nasty sound. And get some of this going on. And I'll give that a 10-second sound. And I'll go for another one of those to finish off. So that's pretty interesting. I think, considering how few synthesizers are in that section, is managing to maintain interest pretty damn well. And it's pretty dark too. I'm happy with the bass line. Just for a simple mono bass line, I think that's got bags of character. Let's try that down an octave. Doesn't feel like it fits very well with what we were just playing. That's better. Now I think we're in a position to put in a synth lead. And I'm going to try with my little 303 plugin again. And my next question is, what the hell key am I in? Because I've completely forgotten. I think it's E flat, but I'm not sure. Oh my god. Yeah, E flat, okay. Okay, this is going to take a little bit of sorting out, but it shouldn't be too bad. I'll extend that out to 2 bars. And I don't want that there. Oh no, that'll be okay. I'll do my little I can make that work instead. Let's see how that sounds. I'm going to silo it apart. And I'm going to duplicate out. And let's get some full-on distortion through there. As always, for this type of sound, I'm going for this lovely citrus. Just for now, and I nearly always run that as parallel distortion. Bit of air. Up the output. Think about there. Let's see how it sounds when I soup the filter. Okay, I can go with that. And I need some delay on there. That's going there. spacing out on the goddamn... Let's see how that works as we head into it. It may well be too soon for this, but I do like what it's doing. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to double that out. Ooh. And I'm going to mute that. And I'm very happy with that. I think at that point I'm going to bring in a hi-hat. Maybe an open hi-hat. Hi-hat open, and for hi-hat open I nearly always go with a 909. So let's zoom down into that. We'll call that 909 open hat. There we go. Get that sounding better. I think probably should have its own output. So I'll send it out of 5 and 6. Okay. That's going to be fine. So we're going for, the vibe I'm going for with this track is somewhere in between dark psychedelic trance and acid techno. kind of like Scorb, but more acid, less hard dance. Not that I particularly think of Scorb as hard dance, but you know what I mean. Just more straight acid. And there's a crash in here somewhere. I think that would be an appropriate time to have a crash symbol. Nice thing is I can get a lot higher with that yet. If I decide that I don't want to stop at that point. I'm going to need a drum fill of some sort there. Cut that one out. Ooh, dear it. Cuts. There we go. And have a nice little hit into a verb just for giggles. Room reverb, and we'll take a preset here. I'm not after anything particularly interesting. That'll be fine. Struggle to even hear that. Hopefully I can find something a little more obvious. Well, we'll render it out, and I think I'll probably just have to boost the volume of it. Oopsie. It's going to need a tail. There we go. Ah, goddamn scratch pads. Delete scratch pads? That sounds fantastic, but what I think is that it's quite sudden when it comes in. We spent a long time building up this strange atmosphere, so I'm probably going to put in an auto filter and coming from below. No, actually I like it. I'm just not sure it's the right place to tune. There's a lovely little film here which I'm going to reuse. I think it was this one. I'm going to have both of them again. Copy. And then edit paste. That's a nice way to finish off that part for now, at least. And I don't think I want this one in as well. It's because it's very, very distinctive. No, I definitely don't want that one in again. So that means I need to come up with new percussive parts. What was that about? I can't remember. Oh yeah, that was kind of a weird noise burst. I could probably use that here. Yeah, that works. And maybe that'll be a nice point to have. No, I'm not allowed synths. I'll be quite strict with myself on this point. Synths only when I finish the percussion, otherwise I'll get carried away. And you could build almost an entire track out of percussion. You barely even need synths. So, what if I go for something a little bit different and go for a loop? I haven't used a single loop yet. I deserve a loop. Groove track and instrument. Loops. Let's find a top loop I could use. Just to save me some hassle. Not trance. World. Let's go for a world loop. Drums. Loop. No. No. And I just want the tops. Which I can see is going to be a problem. No, there we go, tops. They are appalling. Not great. Wonder if I could find a better loop in here. West Africa Library samples. Okay. The samples stored in a different. They may be stored in here. Nope. No. Okay. I'll do it a different way. We'll actually do it properly using Contact. And I'll go for a Tycho kit, I think. That'll be different. Right, that's 2 bars. Let's see how that sounds. Let's try a different sample library. I think that's nearer the mark. Extend that out. I'm glad you're liking it, Justin. Whoa! God damn it. Edit, redo. Just one moment of lack of concentration is all it takes for everything to go completely wrong. I said I'm glad you like it when you said nice. Studio One rocks. Loads of other DAWs do too, but Studio One rocks. It's like Cubase but fast. Logic's good. I like Logic. If I was a Mac guy, then I would almost certainly be using it because I love Alchemy, and Alchemy's amazing. I had to go to the extent of buying Falcon due to it. Okay. Definitely. Logic's kind of a bit of a bottomless pit. You think you understand everything, and there's always more. There's always more in Logic. Studio One is it's not as deep, not by a long shot. It's quick, it's really quick, and it's really powerful, but you cannot go to the same depth as you can in Logic. It's not designed for all situations. It's designed as a quick sequencer and good mixer, but that's it. Not a fan of that EQ. Where's my magic supercharger? You'll sort it out. Yeah, I've got a nice name. I've had a few releases, not many. You'll have to look damn hard to find them. But I'm out there. My artist name is, or was, I should say, Speaker Freaker. I'm on SoundCloud, and it's not a good name. Now I'm called Vesius, but for a long time I was called Speaker Freaker, with an A on the end. Yeah, the follies of youth. But yeah, I've had one or two releases, but not many. They are out there to be found. You can check out my stuff on SoundCloud. Yeah, that's me. Too loud. Hey, Smooth Funk. And they kind of, by this point, they're going to kind of be fully into it. But I still think I need something here. So this is a job for Falcon, my amazing reverse effects machine. That crashes quite a bit. Add layer. Oh, no. I don't need 2 layers. That's overkill. Add key group. There we go. I'll get rid of that. Multi-granule goes on the channel. Do's or don'ts for a live production stream. Make sure everything works before you start. Yeah, just don't forget that you're trying to talk to people. It's not for your entertainment to stream. When I say that, when you are streaming, it's not for your own entertainment. You're trying to entertain the people who are watching, if that makes sense. It's not always easy to do. I don't know how comfortable you are. Like, try and work fast. Don't get too bogged down in things. Don't try and make it perfect. That's what I'd say. Just go for it. Have an aim in mind. Have a, like, today I'm going to talk about this. So, like, I came into this and, like, okay, I want to concentrate on drums. So I've tried, apart from that 303, to very much focus on drums. In other things, I've tried to concentrate on, like, I want to do stereo bass. I want to do this, or I want to do that, or I want to show people how to make a kick drum, or something like that. Don't get too bogged down. Don't try and make perfect music. Have a laugh with it. If someone in chat comes up with an idea, try and implement it. Maybe it'll be rubbish, maybe it won't. You never know. You just never know. So give it a go. Have fun with it. It is meant to be fun. That's what I'd say. Don't get too serious with it. And be prepared to have a laugh. I found it easier to start on YouTube. I'd say if you've got YouTube videos, that's the perfect way to start. If you don't have YouTube videos, I'd recommend doing some VODs first and then going for streaming. That'd be my advice. Where are my samples? Complete library. I want my Aquasonic samples. Probably 39. Why not? I can make something out of that. Speed down to 0. Smash all of these around and it will be sorted in no time. Twitch is better. For streaming, without doubt, Twitch is better. For VODs, YouTube is better. But on Twitch, there's a little thing you can do called export, and you can just ping it all across to YouTube automatically, which is a massive time saver. And instead of taking, say, an hour to upload a 2-hour movie, it takes 30 seconds and then processes it automatically. So I do it that way, definitely. I very rarely do anything directly on YouTube anymore. But I do upload everything I do on Twitch to YouTube. I'm going to set an envelope on that. That'll add modulation. Wrong way. I want to go the other way through this sample. That's still quite a lot of modulation, probably around there. I use OBS, and for audio routing, it'll be different on Mac, but for PC users, I use something called virtual audio cable to reroute the audio back into my laptop. I use OBS, I'll show you. This is available on Mac. It's called Open Broadcaster Software. It's open source, you can get it everywhere. And then I use something called virtual audio cable, which routes audio out of the DAW, DAW, back into OBS, which is the challenge. Making everything work can be quite difficult. Now it's doing what I wanted to do. Okay, so I'll get a brick wall filter to take out the bottom ends. About there. I barely need any bottom end at all to sound like this. And on the amp envelope, I don't want anything really. I just want it to stop making sound. Probably something like that. And we'll get some reverb in there. Oh. Try some crazy repitching. I can often get good results in this software, but it can take a little setting up. And I'm also going to modulate the pitch with the same envelope that I modulated the position with. No, I'm just careful. I try not to keep much personal data on my music computer. Smooth funk. The reason I use massive is I find it easier to use samples to. Thanks for following, Justin. I use a massive because of the granular resynthesis. I find it easier to use samples to generate quite weird moving harmonic sweeps that don't have a harmonic structure. I don't find it so easy to do that with noise. That's just kind of how I do it. There's no reason why you shouldn't use massive. If you find it easier to do that in massive, then I would recommend you use that. But whichever is the easiest option for you. I liked it more before. About there. And maybe just a smidge less. Damn it. About there. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. I'll put a long delay on that. Just kind of push it back even more. I don't want the noise to be a focus, it's just filler noise. Which is a dreadful thing to say, but no noise should be filler, but it is. Massive is super powerful. Absolutely super powerful, especially for modulating noises. Yeah, understanding what synths do what is... most of them can do most things if they're powerful enough. Falcon can do pretty much anything apart from audio rate modulation, which is a very specific thing. It's not great at FM sounds, but it's kind of a workhorse. It will do pretty much anything, and it's really good at sample manipulation. So taking external sounds and mangling them up. Massive is fantastic at synthetic sounds, synthesized sounds. It's very, very flexible and will allow you to do a lot of different rousing. Yeah, that's what I'd say about those two. I'll bounce that down. Check it worked. Ooh. And then do just a little fill, not too much. So people know that we're halfway through that section. And we could get some reactor action going on with contact 5, I think. So I'm going to open reactor 6 here and move that up the order. Oh, if it wasn't actually blocking the slot, that would be super useful. I'm going to open up the finger in this and get some fills going on. I want to insert a track, just an instrument track. Serum, if you have Serum, that does pretty much everything that Massive does. They're very, very similar. The filter routing options in Massive are slightly more powerful, but the filters in Serum, I think, sound slightly better. So it swings and roundabouts. Also, Serum allows you to import wavetables much more easily, but they're very similar functionally, those two synths. Serum and Massive are very, very similar, I would say. Falcon is a bit different because of its ability to mangle samples using granular resynthesis, which is very powerful. That would be my take on that. Okay, so I need to make sure I got this right. So I've only got one reactor effects open at the moment, which is easy. Yeah, absolutely. Reactor is a great way to learn synthesis. I think it's pretty much how I did learn synthesis. But it's not the easiest way to learn synthesis. I call that diving into the deep end. Okay, so reactor. There we go. I'm going to switch this over onto the boss. Why not? Let's see how that sounds. Just as crazy things. That's not doing anything. The first one was interesting. Okay, so let's work one at a time. Let's do it properly. This can be, you just have to experiment with this and gradually you'll get something that sounds good. Obviously I need that solo too. That's a little bit too extreme. I'll move that there. Don't want to do that. I'll keep that. I think that's insane. I've never seen anyone do streams. I've seen many people do game streams I really enjoy, but music streams, I don't see many people doing techno like this. Unfortunately, I wish there were more. And if anyone can point me out, then I'll gladly push them for what that's worth. Not that I've got any kind of audience, but okay, let's see how that sounds. Let's try a different preset on Reactor. I don't much preset dive, but this is slightly different, I would say. Temple Soup, why not? That's kind of all little. Not quite what I'm after. No, not after that. I think that's nearer the mark. That was interesting. Oh, I'm starting to get quite rinsed. I'm struggling now. You see, I did all that in probably about an hour. And I spent the last hour doing not nearly so much. Not nearly so much creative anyway. Gonna do reverse. I'm gonna reverse out this hat at the end. I think that will help. And where's my distorted kick gone? Let's get creative again. I'm getting stuck in a loop. I'll take that weird, funky, dark noise again. Put that there. That's the kick. I'm going to hide the automation there and move that across to 73-ish. Now what did I do with the I'll reverse that. It's very loud. I like it though. That's onto instrument track. Let's see how that goes. That's dark. Okay. Nah, that's cheesy. I like it. I'm happy with it. I'm starting to hit the synths, which is a bad sign. I've been going for about 4 hours today. I'm going to call it a day. Recognise that I'm doing something good. That feels like an end of a section. So that's not that much, really. It's 48 bars. But it's 48 bars I'm happy with. I didn't get distracted. I didn't get caught in anything. I just focused on percussion. I do need some more percussion in here. But my ears are tired. And the biggest rule of all is know when to stop. So I'm happy with what I've done. I'm calling it a day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following if you followed today. I hope to see you all again soon. And we'll continue with one or other 2 tunes that I'm now writing on stream. Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. Catch you next time. Take it easy.